The judiciary, established under Chapter 10 of the Constitution as one of the three arms of government, is a key component of our democratic way of life. It is mandated to administer justice according to law, exercising its judicial authority derived from the people of Kenya. The judiciary ensures access to justice as an independent, accessible and responsive platform for dispute resolution, development of jurisprudence and the final interpreter of the Constitution. The judiciary promotes national values and principles of good governance, fosters social and political stability and promotes national socio-economic development through its decisions. However, the judiciary in Kenya has faced many challenges. Key among them is the lack of quality and adequate facilities and infrastructure to enable it to perform efficiently and effectively. Across the country, poor infrastructure is marked by lack of basic facilities for court operations and users and has been the leading challenge of judiciary transformation that is currently underway across Kenya's 47 counties.
The courtrooms, they are leaking. When it rains, water will go in through any corner. Everything will come to a standstill. Nothing will move on.
Basic facilities in many courts in the country are, to say the least, undignified. Holding cells that are used for securing and transporting prisoners are simple makeshift structures that are not conducive as detention facilities that would help increase the efficiency of the courts and respect the rights and dignity of the prisoners. They are overcrowded, pose a security risk to other court users, and in some cases, adults and children have to share the same facility.
Since we only have one cell, it only accommodates the men. So the women and children have no place. So that's why they just sit outside there at the benches. And you know, there's a challenge with that because if there are many, if at one time they have brought many of them, there are chances that some could escape.
Basic amenities necessary for the comfort of court users are lacking. There are instances where courts have to adjourn to allow judicial officers visit the nearest shopping centers for a health break, a situation that greatly compromises delivery of justice and even endangers the lives of judicial officers.
And I can tell you, I would rather hold myself till I go back to my house, because I have to, like, wherever, if I'm to go to the toilet, everybody knows what business I'm going to do. I cross the registry, I cross the open court, the wananchi wamekaa hapo, that is where the remandees are, and we all need privacy.
Court stations can no longer accommodate the increased number of users as they are now small and crowded.
You can even find some people missing the judgment. Some people are missing to attend court because somebody standing there paka anakuwa tired and now enter somewhere far from the courtroom, fail to hear his name or her name.
The design of the courtrooms is poor, exposing court users and judicial officers to potential risks, particularly when dealing with dangerous accused.
We'll be dealing with accused persons, some of them charged with very serious offenses, and you see they don't have a dock and there is no cell. Anything can happen, you just never know. So someone will sit on the front bench over there, they are called out and they are standing up and I'm seated. Can you imagine? Can you see that risk? It's a risk in itself for all of us, not just for me.
Court registries are the repositories of court records. It is here that all pleadings, supporting documents, and all orders and decisions of the court are secured and maintained. This is the first point of reference for inquiries from the public and the legal profession. However, most of the court registries lack adequate space, infrastructure, and necessary resources.
So the main problem is about the space. So I work on this corridor just because inside we cannot get enough space. So as you can see, the table cannot fit here. That's why you put the table outside and we work from the corridor. And you know, when you do filing or if you want to retrieve a file from any bundle, you have to get a table and you put that bundle on the table to get out the file, which is not possible from inside here. When it starts raining now, it is very, very bad because we have to get these files inside. So the main problem is about the space.
Give people comfortable working environment. The public space in any public institution, how it looks like. tells a lot about that particular institution. How do washrooms look like? How do sitting places look like? That will tell a lot on the physical transformation of any particular institution.
We need a judiciary that people can have confidence in. So it is just in recognition of that that the judiciary has embarked on a very ambitious court construction and expansion process.
This is a project that is envisaged in the Judiciary Transformation Framework, JTF, which was initiated by Chief Justice Willy Mutunga in 2012. The Judiciary Transformation Framework is anchored on 4 key pillars which seek to have a people-focused delivery of justice, a transformative leadership, organizational culture and professional staff, adequate financial resources and physical infrastructure, and harnessing technology as an enabler for justice. The World Bank is providing a $120 million loan to the Kenya government to support the various components of the Judiciary Transformation Framework under what is known as the Judicial Performance Improvement Project, JPIP. The Judiciary Transformation Framework has since received fresh impetus with the launch of the new Judiciary Strategic Plan for the period up to 2018 that sets out the overall blueprint for reclaiming, reforming and repositioning the judiciary as an effective and independent arm of government. Between JPIP and funding from the Government of Kenya, over 100 court stations are in various stages of construction or rehabilitation. Spread across the country, the court upgrade program is ongoing with the rehabilitation of existing magistrate courts, construction of new magistrate courts, upgrading and building of new high courts in all counties, construction of Kadhi courts, and commissioning of sites for the construction of new courts.
Actually, all the buildings will come down. You can see there's something already going on. That one is going to have 4 courts and 2 chambers, and of course holding cells, and various other amenities including a lounge for the judge and the magistrate. We're going to have a customer care desk inside that facility. You can expect to find a smooth flow of everything.
The new structure is amazing. It's exciting. We can't wait to be there. The kind of facilities it has equals to any modern office, or rather any workplace that anyone would wish to work. We have 2 big courtrooms, meaning the problem of congestion in one small court that have been resolved. Courts will be running concurrently. No need for adjournment because there are 2 courts, of course, and there are 2 magistrates, so everybody is self-sufficient.
The new court is going to be a complete turnaround. We are expecting to have 4 courtrooms, 4 chambers. That is spacious enough, an area where advocates and probation officers can interview their clients. We'll have registries, an area for nursing mothers, modern toilet facilities, a banking hall, kitchen, and distinct cells for all categories of remandees.
From the old dilapidated building that was the Kitui Law Courts, court users now have an impressive facility that is comfortable to work in and has been sensitive to the needs and requirements of court users.
Service delivery will be fast, it will be quick, and then convenient and accessible. There is more space for the courtrooms, we have more space for the magistrates, 4 additional chambers for the magistrates in the upstairs floor.
This court has been upgraded to a high court station because now we have space. The judiciary will have a higher rating to the members of the public and the community it serves generally.
Tumejengwa vizuri. Kwanza, cells za wafungwa imeongezeka. Mwanzo hatukuwa na cells categories, kulikuwa na cells 2 tu. Lakini sasa kuna cell watoto wanaweza ingia, wanawake wanaweza ingia, hata wazee na vijana wanaweza ingia. So cells ni mingi sasa hizi. Hapo hatuna na security iko ya kutosha.
From what was there and what we have today, I can say it is a big achievement for Sirisia locals and for the judiciary in general.
The new structure is user-friendly with access ramps for the elderly and physically challenged.
We have a customer care desk which is vibrant, and this is unlike other registries. We have not put a grill or something. People are served one-on-one. The courtrooms are very spacious. Everybody is always accommodated in the courtroom. They've been designed in a way that where the magistrate is sitting, the prosecutor, the clerk, and the members of the public, and where the accused are and where the witness are, is well protected. There is holding cells for men, holding cells for women, and holding cells for the children.
Before this rehabilitation, we only had one courtroom. But with the rehabilitation, we now have 2 courtrooms, and there are 2 chambers. We are able to dispose cases much faster. We only have few cases for 2014 that are pending. For 2013, I think we only have 2 or 3 cases. And this could not have happened if we didn't have such a facility, because with such a facility, you can sit comfortably up to lunchtime. You can go back to court and sit in the afternoon.
The challenges were many, especially when it came to dealing with children issues. The children were being held together with adults because there was no provision for children's cell. But now the situation has improved and it has assisted to a great extent in how we are handling now the children cases.
We have very conducive environment. So we do appreciate the judiciary for building us an office. We can call the witnesses, complainants, and we can discuss them about the issue before going to court.
The structure we have is one of the best in the country as far as subordinate courts are concerned. Spacious, enough chambers, and when the chambers can accommodate even a trial when necessary, like when we have the defilement matters which we have here in camera, we move up to the chambers. We also have the secretary's office. It is there separate from the registry. So whatever she's typing here cannot be accessed by another person, apart from only the authorized people.
This story is equally bright across many counties, and a number of new courts are now complete with the various necessary facilities that make the working environment dignified and comfortable for the court users. Kisumu is one of the high courts that have been constructed under the program that targets to have an ultra-modern high court in each of the 47 counties of Kenya.
The fact that we are now moving to counties, opening courts, high courts in counties, I think it's a plus. Access to justice now is slowly by slowly becoming nearer. People are no longer spending thousands of shillings, traveling hundreds of kilometers to reach our court stations.
People here really suffered for a long time, and it is good, to see, because even the locals here, everybody has really appreciated the facilities which have been offered by the new building. I would just want to thank the government of the Republic of Kenya, the judiciary, for putting up such a wonderful place for us here.
The Milimani courts have been rehabilitated and now boast of ultra-modern spacious courtrooms, providing a comfortable working environment for the judicial officers and litigants alike. TV screens and communication equipment is part of the audio-visual systems that have been installed at the newly refurbished courtrooms at the Milimani courts. This is aimed at enabling the courts to communicate to court users effectively, and when necessary, pictures of exhibits can be projected on the screens for all to follow. This is a process that is to be replicated in all other courts countrywide. The court registries at Milimani have now been revamped, making them more accessible to court users, thus greatly improving efficiency. The judiciary is moving further with the digitization of court records and proceedings, with some divisions of the Milimani courts already utilizing this technology to operationalize their registries.
So far in the division, we are privileged to be running a system where we have a file tracking system, an arrangement where parties are notified through an SMS of the process or the progress with which their matters are so far going on.
The holding cells have been newly refurbished and boast of high-quality amenities that provide a conducive environment for the users.
So the spaces within which we work ought to reflect the dignity of the institution. And so we've put in a lot of effort in that regard, and we're hoping that by 2018 we should all be able to look back and be proud of what we shall have achieved.
By the end of 2018, the completion of the rehabilitation of existing courts and building of new court stations and the setting up of mobile courts will provide the much-needed infrastructure capacity for for the expanding population, the growing number of serving magistrates, and the need to extend services to areas that were previously underserviced.